Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a Challenger Spectate, and we're watching Akali. Now some people may be like, Huz, are you feeling okay? Because my Spectate challenges usually go off champions that I have a personal interest in, that I want to play. This one is, well, I have an interest in Akali, but it's not really from a point of view that I want to play the champion. It's more, and this the video, the title, and everything of this could be of the lines of, is Akali healthy for League of Legends? Now, I will say this game that we're about to watch is one of the, I think, best Akali challenger. Again, this isn't even an Akali main. This isn't an Akali one trick. This is a challenger mid lane main, I think, that just plays Akali in their pool. And I looked through their match history, maybe top 10 challenger player in EU West, and there was a couple Akali performances with generally very fed performances in most of them. And I was like, if a person is getting extremely fed in Challenger, then is the champion good? Is the champion healthy? All this kind of comes to mind. And this does also put a perspective of Akali has been nerfed a lot. Like, a lot since her release. So this is a nerfed status Akali that some people in League think that, oh no, she's fine. And there are people like me that still think the champion is definitely problematic. And I wanted to just kind of watch a game of a Challenger versus a challenger. You know, we're against the Akali's playing against a challenger Cassiopeia, so a very good other player. What happens? You know, does it happen because the Cassio makes mistakes? Does it happen because the damage of Akali is simply too high? That's what we're going to kind of find out, and what we can do in the comment section is have, as always, a civil adult discussion about it. You know, that's the point. And like what I've said in the past of when people kind of have deemed Akali fine, I would generally always wager those people aren't the highest of rating, because Akali is a champion that I do say isn't the easiest to play. But she's one of those champions that falls into categories like Azir that, you know, the better you are at them, the more you can get out of the champion. And if you are simply just playing them very, very, very well, you can't do anything against them. And that's why Azir is either overpowered or weak in actually his stats, because Riot can't allow that champion, like, stat-wise to be even just okay, because even if he's okay with his stats, challenger players and pro players will just be unbeatable on Azir. Like, he just can do too much. He's too high range, can do too much damage, has too much utility, has shielding, has escapes. Akali is kind of in the same kind of world, I feel. And remember, I think the last thing that Akali actually got might have been a small buff. Meanwhile, you can see that the trading is happening, the Cassiopeia being very low mana. Both of them obviously taking Conqueror, because that is arguably the strongest rune still in the game. And yes, they did try to fix it, but their fix kind of made it obviously weaker in one aspect, that it now doesn't really kill tanks, but it is also stronger in another, that its healing is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to try and record an episode in the next couple days. Meanwhile, nice little trading damage there. Meanwhile, nearly all in. Veigar does go down in bot lane. Teleport of the enemy team going down there, but we're going to focus still on the Akali. If you guys haven't seen a Heimerdinger with Conqueror at the moment, it is ludicrous that a Zed ulted a Heimerdinger, nearly killing him. You know, the pop damage. Meanwhile, the kill is going to go on the Rek'Sai most likely. Nope, the Akali picks it up. Kled is in the area with the teleport. Akali now with double buffs going onto the backline. Does get grounded. Nearly going to get a triple kill here. Maybe is on. Cassiopeia surviving. Another kill though for the Akali. Flash actually misses it, but will pick up in total 3 kills. So obviously that does help. And you know, oh, this could be another kill actually. And remember, at this stage, the Akali was actually going in, triple kill, so this is 4. Is this going to be like basically a pentakill? So this was an Akali that was going right near the enemy team, and yes, this is basically, that's an official quadra kill at the beginning of the game, that's an unofficial pentakill at the beginning of the game. And I will say, and I know some people go, oh, that was just a great environment for that to go well. I can't think of another champion that would have done that. Like, honestly, I can't. Like, a mage, an Ari wouldn't have been able to get all 5 of those kills. Even other energy champions like Zed wouldn't have got those 5 kills. Like, Akali can just do so much. And yeah, like, the enemy team were low. She wasn't getting purely focused all the time. But there was an instance in that fight that she was here against 2 people. She was against the enemy AD carry and mid lane, and they couldn't do anything to her because I think she just put herself in a W. Like, yeah, like if someone's good at this champion and they just go in the W at the right time, they use their E at the right time, they don't take any damage, and they deal one of the highest damages in the game of League. That's the issue. She's got still too much. So every single time a champion's designed, the way that I think champion design is usually done is they have a massive board and says, you know, what does this champion do? Are they AoE? Are they poke? Are they burst? Are they whatever? And Akali, you know, has burst, sustain, survivability. She's got a camouflage. She's got mobility. She's got... You just keep adding to the list. And this, by the way, is in a state that she got stuff removed. Akali used to have a stun on her ultimate. She now no longer does. So it's like... too much stuff, and I think she still has too much stuff, and you're clearly seeing in the hands of a great player, she got 5 kills at the beginning of the game, when I genuinely... And by the way, this isn't just because I don't like Akali. I think it's a cool champion. I'm not going to hide away from that. She is cool. I can see why people play the champ. She's got a cool aesthetic. She's kind of ninja-y. There's the ultimate initial. She doesn't want to tank that. Gonna go for a double ultimate. Gets 1 kill, dominating. Gonna E away. And then, yeah, survives as well because she can do that. Oh, boy. I just personally think this champion does too much when in the hands of a good player. And that's what's been so hard for me to kind of communicate, I feel, as a content creator, is, you know, you guys, I love you guys in my audience, but when you're watching an educational channel, you're watching it because you want to get better at League, so therefore you're probably in an average rating and you want to try and get to a good rating. So that means the average person watching the videos is going to be in a rating bracket that Akali doesn't really do what Akali can do. But when you're watching a challenger player, and by the way, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I could have gone on this guy's match history, and again, he's not an Akali one-trick, not an Akali, like, only player, so he plays other things. I could have gone on his match history and picked one of 5 games that he just gets obscenely fed in a challenger game. That shouldn't happen. Not really. Like, whenever do you see people get really fed in pro games or challenger games, it's rare because those players obviously are really good. Doesn't matter for Akali because she's got Snowball as well because she's an assassin. It's my point. It's just this champion to me is still problematic, but only problematic in certain areas of the game, certain ratings of the game. And that's why I don't think it's been a massive priority on nerfing her even more because, yeah, it doesn't affect the average player. You know, it wasn't even that long ago. Meanwhile, they're going to go for a dive on the Ivan. Nearly killing him, by the way. If Rek'Sai was 6, that would have been a dead Ivan. It wasn't even that long ago that, maybe about a year or 2 ago, that Riot legitimately put their hands up in like a design brief or something and said, Azir, Ryze, and Kalista, we're leaving alone forever because we do not know how to balance them for high rating and low rating. Since then, they have tried to do stuff. That was like a couple years ago. They obviously have changed Ryze more. I think they gave some Kalista buffs, but she hasn't made it back to meta. And Azir, you know, still in a weak state because they can't allow him to be too strong. I think very soon Akali could fit into that category. That I see them nerfing her stats, so lowering her base scaling, lowering her base stats, and then just leaving her. Just be like, we don't know what to do. Because she never can be balanced. Because then you'll double kill for Veigar. You'll either have challenging people wrecking her when she even has average strength stats, or then if she's too weak and they make her stats lower, then you'll have low rating people going, she's too weak, because they can't pull off the crazy Akali stuff. So again, I do feel for Riot, because with the champion design that they were given with the rework, what do? How do you balance it? It's incredibly hard. And that's why I know the most hated, I guess, team within Riot is the balance team, because a lot of people go, I could balance the game better. No, I pretty much no, but I feel for them. There you go, nice kill. I feel for the balance team because it's like, I don't know where you'd like balance this champion. Again, that's the word, balance. I know what I would do against Akali. I would nerf her, but that isn't balance, right? So it's awkward. It's really, really awkward. So let me know what you would do with Akali, and that's where we can kind of begin the discussion. Because I don't think many people will think that she's healthy. I think the only people that think she'll be healthy for the game, or healthy in her current state, are one of two people. One, people that play Akali that want to defend her. Secondly, people that go really off statistics only, rather than other things. So if I go right now, we can kind of already counter the point, if we will. If I go on a statistic website, type in Akali while she's just going back to base, and we can look at her statistics and go like, is that a broken champion? And the answer, by statistics, is probably no. But that's where, you know, stuff like win rate. So here we go. Akali's overall win rate right now in Platinum and above is 47%. And that's where people go, she's a weak champion. But this is where it gets really mind-boggling of where are you trying to balance the game to. Are you trying to balance the game to the average player or platinum, whatever it may be? Or are you trying to balance it to top the highest level of play? Furthermore, those games, as a entity of like everything, takes into account someone that's playing Akali for the first time ever, or they've never played Akali, or whatever, or a bad Akali player, like... meanwhile, you can just see she's laughing and dancing around a Cassiopeia. Doesn't even use her ultimate, managed to get kills. Double kill for the Akali, really nice. So yeah, that just made the Cassiopeia look like a joke. The movement speed increase that she's getting as well. Cass can't hit her ultimate. Didn't even you have to use flash to kill the Cassiopeia. She used flash after. Didn't even have to use ultimate to kill the Cassiopeia. Insane. But yeah, so going off that, people will kind of go, look, she's not broken. But when you're in the hands of somebody, like I mentioned, of someone that really knows what they're doing, that's the problematic area. So what, in the comments again, do you balance it to, like, is that fine? Or should you try to help the balance of her in Challenger and Pro Play and stuff? It's been the same with Azir. Azir got nerfed a couple years ago when he had a 44% win rate. So the lower rating of the game, their minds were blown, going, the dude has a 44% win rate, why are you nerfing him? But then the higher rating people going, yeah, that doesn't tell you the full story. Win rate never tells you the full story, because that's including things like players that don't really matter, or they don't play the champion. Look at that! Double kill by Akali, survives on very low health. She'll probably just back out now. Doubt any more kills is going to happen. Rek'Sai might die, not Rek'Sai. Rakan, there we go, doesn't die because he manages to get away. And Akali now is 11-0-1. So that's the issue that I find. And again, in my rank, it's not even like the biggest problem area, but you still have the occasional, like, especially in my area, what I'd say is the average Akali isn't problematic in High Diamond. The Akali mains are. The people that really know how to play Akali in High Diamond. But in Challenger, any Challenger mid laner is probably going to be a problem. Meanwhile, Viger actually steals that. Akali's having none of it. Viger trying to exhaust. Akali's getting a little bit caught out with the Viger, with the Ivan. Very low health, does get killed in the end. I think she probably could have played that a little bit better to survive. Rakan going to go for the kill. Ivan's trying to keep the Viger alive, does go down. Now Ivan going to try and get away, being caught out. Kai'Sa now ulting. The Rakan surviving, just the Ivan Q misses. And overall, a little bit of a fiesta, but the Akali will die for the first time of the game, but at 11 deaths. So obviously very strong this game, great performance. And yeah, it is highlighting the kind of snowballness of the champion. Now, if I do something that I'd be actually interested in, if I change that, I'm going to change the rank boundary for the win rate of Akali and just see if that does anything. If it actually works, which right now it's apparently not wanting to work for me. I might have to swap to a different website if I've got time. Akali going for another engage, literally makes it to the game, makes it to the lane instantly, and doesn't get the kill, but does force out Cassiopeia ultimate. So it worked. I changed out the parameter, so it goes from a 47% win rate. Meanwhile, getting caught, the W of Cassiopeia is a nice counter to the champion. 47% win rate was an overall. It is now a 49.8% win rate, so it goes up 2%, 2.5% when you're adjusting it to Challenger only, so still technically a negative win rate, but the ban rate, ladies and gentlemen, in Challenger is 41%. That is an insanely high ban rate, and it has that ban rate for a very specific reason, because Challenger people don't want Akali in their games. That might even be the highest ban rate in Challenger. I've always said, when you go off champion strength, ignore win rate, because again, win rate is too random. It's giving you things and showing you players that are bad at the champion or whatever. Ban rate is much of a bigger indication if a champion is strong in high rating, because high rating players do not want really overpowered or really strong champions in their game. So when something in Challenger or Master, whatever, has a really high ban rate, you know that's a strong champion, like 100%, because the high rating players are like, nope, I am simply not dealing with you and that champion. So, yeah. All right, so we are now 11-2. It's going for an engage. Again, a free trade. Going to go for the Viger. Does get the Viger and then ease for free out. So, again, it's not just her damage is high. She can do practically all of that and then just leave. So, yeah. All right, so Rakan being a bit alone does throw a little bit of a panicky ignite there by the end of it. Rengar looking, and by the way, was Rengar top lane doing okay this game versus a Kled, which I'd say that matchup is a bit iffy for Rengar, if anything. If the Kled is smart or good. Cassio, though, he was facing the right way. Cassio does get a nice ultimate. The Kai'Sa doing very questionable play. Does go down to the Akali. I would never ult towards danger of a Rengar Akali. And I think that was even Xayah as well. That was questionable. But now the Akali will make her presence known in the enemy jungle and maybe even steal the red, which obviously is a big deal when there's an Ivan on the enemy team. Ivan obviously gets double value for buffs because he picks one up himself, and one of the buffs lands on the ground for one of his allies to pick up, so you get 2 buffs per time you kill, and she will steal it away, which means that she's kind of, in essence, stealing 2 red buffs away from the enemy team. Map is now been, or dragons have been killed enough that the ocean map is the map of this game. So that brings more plants in the jungle for, you know, getting health back up, which is nice. She's going to be careful, a bit of overstay happening by the Akali with low energy. But yeah, more plants, more bushes, which is actually a very good thing for the Rengar. More bushes, and obviously the Dragon Soul itself will be giving sustain of some degree. Yeah, so sustain and combat, I think Ocean is. So overall, a pretty strong one. I have heard many people say their favourite map right now is the Ocean map. Let me again know in the comments what is your favourite map in the game right now. I would most likely agree. I would most likely say Ocean is my favourite out of all of them. Mountain, I think, is a bit lackluster. Dragon, the Infernal one, it's weird. It has definitely gone down on priority list, it seems. The Explosion isn't amazing, like the Dragon Soul for Infernal, so I don't really care about the Infernal map and the Infernal Soul. The Wind one isn't amazing either, but the actual dragons for them getting ultimate cooldown is very nice. But as for a whole package, I actually think the Ocean one is the best. Gives you the best map. More if you're ahead. More bushes is, you know, a nice thing to snowball the game if you're hiding in them. I need to sneeze in a second. And Sustain. Sustain's always good when you want to win the game. Sustain arguably is the best out of the 4. Because, you know, even when the... my sneeze gone. Even the old dragons, before the update, so many people, like, kind of neglected Ocean. Ocean used to be the best anyway, pretty much, apart from Infernal. So, Kai'Sa getting caught out, does go down. Rengar finds himself a nice free lunch. Big fight in the middle, nothing really going well for the enemy team. Cassiopeia did ult and missed it. Xayah going for a nice arrow. Akali going to continue for the fight. Going to E probably back in, waiting for some energy. Going to finish off the kill. Ivan goes for a nice shield. Root on the ground. Obviously, big counter. Akali needs to get out of that. Never mind, she just waits with her snowball. And Xayah very close. Doesn't get the kill on the end in the Kled. And overall, that will be the fight for red team. So we now have a 14-2-4 Akali without being in much danger. You know, we kind of was there like, oh god, she's got to live. But no, she had a obviously stopwatch, which is always quite effective. Remember buying stopwatches whenever you see people do it. They have a play in mind. So whenever you're playing the game, and if you do see your lane opponent, for example, buy a stopwatch, be careful for the next couple of minutes. Don't know why she's not clearing that ward. But yeah, be careful, because they are buying that stopwatch for a particular reason. Or tower dive is a particular reason to buy a stopwatch, and that's exactly what just happened. Now, Rengar and Akali sharing lane is a bit questionable to me. Unless they're looking to overextend, and maybe that was happening. Overextend the Akali to bait out the enemy team for the Rengar. Don't think anything is going to come of it. Rengar, though, is overextending, going in a 2v3 nearly. 2v4 practically very soon. They should just make their way out. Don't think anything's going to come out of this. Rengar looking to get away if he can. Not going to happen. Does get ulted by the Kled and does get killed to 4 of the enemy team. Bit of an overstay play happening there. But yeah, things are kind of chilling a little bit now, will be, because they are down a man. Dragon's not up for a few minutes anyway. There's nothing really to take on the map as a whole team. So, again, as deaths go, the death for that Rengar's fine, because they're not really losing anything for it. Obviously, you don't want to die, but it always sucks when you die just before a dragon, or just before, you know, something. And that isn't going to happen. So, enemy team surviving. Once again, the Kai'Sa finding herself in mix of the enemy team. Does get the kill on the enemy AD carry, but then also gets caught herself. Akali ulting to the left. Then going to go for the Viger, using her E to get closer. Then giving the Rakan maybe the opportunity, does give the opportunity to knock up, does give the kill to the Akali. Rengar are going to continue, and obviously if the Ivan plants bushes down, you are also benefiting the Rengar, giving him his passive jump out of bushes, and he will go down being a bit too overextended in the bush. But we now have a 16-2 Akali. And yeah, obviously a lot of snowballing happened, but this, once again, to remind everybody, if you've forgotten, is a challenger game on a US, so the quality of the game should be very high. And you know, let's remind everybody, challenger players are still human. You're still going to see basic mistakes. These players are phenomenal players, but I love doing these replays, etc., for a basic reason of showing mistakes in challenger, because we all have crazy expectations of teammates for some reason. I do, you do, watching most likely. Even if you're in silver, gold, for some reason we think that our allies shouldn't be able to make mistakes. When I show these mistakes happening in challenger, I think it kind of humbles people of kind of going, oh, they make mistakes in that rating, hell, I'm going to make mistakes in mine, and my teammates are going to make mistakes too. So the red team caught a bit sleeping here. Enemy team does get the dragon, which could be a big deal. Remember, dragon is a big comeback mechanic. Akali looking for the engage by herself. We're going to focus on her because she's going to E into it. Look how much damage she does to the Veigar with just a cute auto attack. Cassio getting killed by the Akali in the end. Kled now in the middle of the enemy team. Does going to go down. Wouldn't be surprised if Baron is on the table now for the enemy team. And yeah, crazy damage overall. And I can, by the way, confirm, because the end game is, you know, maybe coming to its closing stages soon, the Akali obviously did do the most damage in the game by quite a fair margin. If you look into the gold, by the way, the Akali is nearly double gold of the Cassiopeia right now. And some people may say, oh, maybe it's just the matchup. Is Cassiopeia weak right now? Well, let's, again, if people love their statistics, let's just check something. So Cassiopeia right now, ladies and gentlemen, has a 51% win rate. So this game, yes, you are watching a 47% win rate Akali champion going against a 51% win rate champion, and you can quickly see how the argument of statistics falls apart and how dumb that argument is, because on statistics, the Cassiopeia should win this game really easily. That's why you can't use win rate statistics all the time, because that's just not what is good to use. It's way more important to go off individual, like, skill bases and, like, players that are good at individual champions that are problematic champions instead of the masses. But that also brings in the argument of, what are you balancing League of Legends to? Are you balancing League of Legends to the masses? Or, like they've always done, are they balancing League of Legends to top down? You balance the game to the highest level of play, and that trickles down to the bottom. That's how they've always balanced the game. It's the healthiest way to balance a competitive game. But it kind of does seem Akali has slipped through the cracks. And other champions have in the past. I'm not just, you know, targeting Akali. It has happened. Will continue to happen. Because, again, I'm not going to ever be toxic to people at Riot. The balanced team has a really hard job. They're not the ones that are making the kit for Akali. They basically are given a kit and going to go, good luck, balance it as best you can. And we've even had people like certainly T literally given quotes going, my job is not to balance a champion that I design. What? It is, partially, because you're designing it. Anyway, Akali going for a very aggressive play. Look at that, dude. See what I mean? She can do that complete crazy play into the enemy team and just E away like nothing happened. By the way, this Akali did buy a Medjay. She even has a Zhonya that she didn't even have to use yet. And she will survive. She's going to heal up a little bit maybe before she goes to the fight. You can see she's just farming a little bit, not putting herself in harm's way. Enemy team is on the back foot right now. Kled off his mount. Nice cage by the Veigar. Rek'Sai does go down to Veigar ultimate. Now the Root could be in trouble. They do get the inhib. Akali going to go for an escape. We need to watch the Xayah. How many auto attacks is she getting off? Quite a lot. Does get the kill with a crit. And now the re-engage is happening. So you did see the Akali. It crossed the mind to run away. But the enemy team did make a mistake by splitting. The Kled was alone. They focus him, kill him. And then they can focus down the game. Akali hits her E. Doubt she's going to go for it, because there could always be a flash onto the base tower, which for some reason the Akali just didn't do, Veigar didn't do. Probably a dead. Whoa, not a dead Akali actually. Does get the Veigar, does get killed by the God Tower though, and that most likely will be the end of the game. So if the video title is Akali healthy for League, or is Akali balanced? My answer to that question is 1, it depends who you ask. 2, depends who you play. Which, for a question of balance, is a very weird thing, because in theory, something is usually balanced or not. But that's where a more skill-based champion, like Akali, like Azir, that's where that comes into play. It depends who's playing the champion, if the champion is balanced or not. Because somebody who isn't great at Akali won't get the maximum out of the champion. Therefore, it doesn't really matter that she can be kind of busted. But when you're watching somebody that can get a lot out of the champion, she is busted. That's the issue. And that's where there is what I've seen, one of, if not the most split arguments about a champion in League's history. You know, you have had the arguments again with Azir that the low rating community was like, Azir's fine, he's really hard to play, but then the high rating community was going, he's the most broken thing we've ever seen. It does seem that Akali is now a new version of that. The low rating people are like, she's fine, like she has a negative win rate, dude, like how is she broke? But in high rating, she can wreck nearly in every single game, has a crazy high ban rate, and people are kind of going, what are Riot doing? So let me know what your opinions down below. I would be interested. But I would say what also could be handy, next to your opinion, would be handy to know your rank as well, because then we can kind of see if there is like a pattern of lower rating people kind of think she's fine, higher rating people think that she's a problem. Because there is, you know, there's nothing toxic about that, by the way. That just shows a difference in the community. But then you also bring up the topic of, okay, there's a difference in the community. What do you do about that? Like some people have even said, oh, maybe you should change champion strength and, you know, they're balancing depending what rating of the game that, you know, is in. If it's a diamond MMR game, then maybe you tone down Akali a bit in the balance. I think that would get overly complicated and things probably would get a bit messy with that. It's an idea for sure, but I reckon it probably wouldn't really happen. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it. Leave your opinions down below. As always, keep it really adult and civil. That's the way we do things here at HuzzyGames. But yeah, my hands did a farting noise. Like, subscribe, comment down below. See you guys next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.